Okay, so let's jump right in. What if all this anxiety we're feeling, this modern stress, isn't a sign that we're breaking down, but that we're actually breaking through? What if it's the growing pains of our next evolution? That's the really powerful idea at the heart of Nagesh Jayanti's The Conscious Bridge. And in this explainer, we're going to dive deep and unpack this incredible vision for where humanity is headed.
So the book kicks off with this just huge question, right? It asks us to look at all the crises we're facing, environmental, technological, you name it, and consider something totally different. What if all that chaos and disconnection we feel, what if it's not the end of the story? What if it's actually a doorway, a signal that we are right on the edge of a massive evolutionary leap?
All right, part one, a world disconnected. Before we can talk about where we're going, we've got to get brutally honest about where we are right now. And the book argues that we, as a species, we're dangerously disconnected. We've lost touch with the world.
And if you want a perfect, almost heartbreaking example of this, just look at the 2004 tsunami. It's an incredible tale of two instincts. You had animals, elephants, dogs, you name it. They all sensed something was wrong way before the wave hit. They were agitated, they were trying to escape, heading for higher ground. But what did humans do? We saw the water pull back from the shore and, out of curiosity, we walked towards it, straight into danger. That one moment just says it all, doesn't it? It shows this huge, massive gap that's opened up between us and the rest of the living world.
And here's the core of the problem, the real kicker. Our greatest strength, our incredible power of abstract thought, has kind of become our biggest weakness. It's our superpower, but it's also our Achilles heel. We've built these amazing civilizations, right? We've created all this technology. But in doing so, we've basically put ourselves on mute. We've turned down the volume on that deep instinctual intelligence that guides every other living thing. We're living up in our heads, totally cut off from the wisdom of our own bodies and the planet.
Okay, section 2, the wisdom we forgot. But here's the thing. What if that wisdom isn't actually gone? What if it's just sleeping? Let's dig into that, because this is where we start looking for the keys to wake it back up. And we're going to look in some pretty interesting places. Ancient knowledge and, some teachers we've been ignoring for a very, very long time. So the book points us to this really profound piece of ancient wisdom from the Vedas. It basically says that when you investigate suffering, that's where you find ultimate knowledge, or Brahman. Think about that for a second. It means our anxiety, our feeling of being lost. It's not something to just push away or medicate. It's actually a doorway. It's an invitation. The pain itself is the path to connecting with something much, much bigger. Our crises aren't the problem. They're the curriculum.
And you want to know where this deeper intelligence is still wide awake and running the show? Look at the animal kingdom. It's just mind-blowing. Elephants can literally hear earthquakes coming through their feet. Birds have a built-in GPS that uses the Earth's magnetic field to navigate. A dog's nose, it's like a time machine for smells. And bees, they do this incredibly complex dance to tell their friends the exact location of flowers. This stuff isn't magic. It's a kind of super high-definition awareness that we've just forgotten how to access.
Now this is where it gets really hopeful. The book makes it super clear that these abilities aren't some alien superpowers. They are our abilities. They are dormant human capacities. We have them too. They've just been buried under layers of cultural conditioning. Living in boxes, staring at screens all day. But here's the key. They are recoverable. The hardware is still there. We just need to reboot the software.
Okay, section 3, our unlikely allies. So, quick recap. We're disconnected, but we have this amazing, untapped potential to reconnect. This is where the whole story takes a really unexpected twist. Because the very thing that so many of us are scared of, the technology we think is pushing us farther away from nature, what if it's actually our greatest ally in finding our way back? Yeah, I'm talking about artificial intelligence. Now, instead of seeing AI as the thing that's going to turn us all into robots and complete our separation from nature, this book flips that idea completely on its head. It suggests AI could be the key. It could be the universal translator that helps us finally understand the languages of the natural world that we've forgotten how to speak. So, how would this even work? Well, the book lays out 3 main roles for AI. First, it could be our environmental interpreter, right? It can analyze massive amounts of data and spot these tiny patterns in the climate or in an ecosystem that are totally invisible to us. Second, it could be an animal communication facilitator, literally helping us bridge the gap between their world of pure sense and our world of ideas. And third, it can be a pattern recognition amplifier. It could help us see the big picture intelligence that organizes everything from a flock of birds to a whole forest.
Let's make this more concrete. Check out this idea of a great partnership. Imagine a dog with its incredible nose is gathering all this scent data. That's the raw input. Then the AI acts as a translator, turning that complex world of smell into information we can actually understand. Or think about elephants, who have this incredible long-term memory of weather patterns and water sources. You pair that ancient wisdom with an AI that can crunch decades of climate data, suddenly you have something incredibly powerful. And notice, this isn't about humans controlling everything. This is a true partnership, a three-way collaboration.
All right, part 4, forging the conscious bridge. This is it. This is where it all comes together. We've seen the problem, our disconnection, we've found the forgotten wisdom inside us and in the animal kingdom, and we've met our unlikely ally, AI. So now, let's forge the bridge. Let's see what this next stage of humanity actually looks like.
You can really think of humanity's journey as a 3-act play. Act 1, pre-abstract connection. This was us, early humans, living totally inside nature, guided by pure instinct. Then came Act 2, where we are now, abstract disconnection. We became masters of logic, of concepts, but we paid a huge price. We cut ourselves off from our roots. So what's Act 3? That's the leap. That's the grand finale, what the book calls conscious rootedness. So what exactly is conscious rootedness? Let's be really clear. This is not about throwing away our rational minds and going back to living in caves. Absolutely not. It's about moving forward into a powerful new synthesis. Just imagine it. You take the incredible analytical power of the human brain. You combine it with the deep, embodied, instinctual wisdom of the animal world, and you add in the massive pattern recognition power of AI. All three working together in harmony. That integration, that is conscious rootedness, a completely new kind of planetary awareness. And look, the book argues this isn't just some cool philosophical idea to think about. It's an absolute necessity. It's an urgent call to action. Why? Because our current way of thinking, our abstract-only consciousness, it's just not powerful enough to solve the global crises that it created. The only way out is through. We have to evolve. We have to integrate. We have to take this next leap.
All right, last section. Your path to reconnection. I know, this all sounds so huge and epic, right? Planetary consciousness. But the book does a beautiful job of bringing it right down to earth, right back to you and me. So how do you, personally, start building your own piece of this conscious bridge? Well, it doesn't start with some grand gesture. It starts with small, simple, everyday practices.
Here are 4 things you can literally start doing today. 1. Daily mindfulness. Just something to quiet down all that mental chatter so you can actually hear the quieter signals. 2. Yoga and breathing. Think of this as recalibrating your body, tuning up your own sensory equipment. 3. Sensory awareness. This is super simple. Just stop for a minute. What do you actually hear? What do you feel on your skin? And 4. Nature immersion. Go outside, take off your shoes, walk on the grass, listen to the birds. No phone, no agenda, just be there. These simple acts start to pry open those channels that have been closed for so long.
And that really brings us to the final big question the book leaves us with. This bridge, it's already being built. This evolution is happening right now, whether we're paying attention or not. So the real choice isn't if we're going to cross it. The only choice we have is how. Will you walk across it consciously with your eyes wide open, or will you just get dragged along for the ride?
So there you have it. That's our look at the incredible ideas inside The Conscious Bridge by Nagesh Jayanti. It's this amazing vision that weaves together ancient wisdom, our own dormant potential, and the future of technology. Ultimately, it's an invitation, not just to watch the next stage of human evolution happen, but to become an active, conscious part of building it. Thanks so much for joining me on this journey.